Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the weekend update. We're going to jump right in here looking at the Dow 1 hour chart, which essentially looks pretty much the same as it did on Wednesday. We are still stuck in this bearish rising wedge, overbought to say the least. We get a better idea if we look at the Dow daily chart. Now, I removed the downtrend line we've had in place for the last few weeks simply because we're right up here at a double top. And like I've been saying, this has been a remarkable move in the large caps, absolutely immune to what has been going on in Washington, D.C., which is absolutely nothing, as is usually the case. But we went away Friday, market up in anticipation of a deal, and lo and behold, no deal. Now, we did have the president come out and do an executive order that everyone is hyping out there, that unemployment benefits are going to be $400. But guess what? It's not. It's $300. Because the feds are only going to pay 3/4 of it, and states are responsible for the other quarter. Where are these states going to get that money when they're already blowing holes out of their own deficits? So really a moot point. And I really think, I mentioned it in the chat room on Friday, that the market has to smack these guys upside the head right now to get a deal. They are very, very far apart. The Republican deal, $1 trillion is equivalent to a gunshot victim with a bullet getting taken out of his head and they send him home. And the Democratic plan is making sure that his grandkids go to school. So very, very far apart. I'm in the camp where more is better. What is the risk right now? We have no issues giving corporations everything they want. How about giving the average guy a lot of money? The worst case that's going to happen is we're going to have some inflation because everyone's going to be out there spending this money. So this is when we need to pump money into the system. Pump it away is all I say. That's what I think this market's going to do this week. Now, will the Fed let it happen? That remains to be seen. But we have a double top in place on the Dow. The chart is actually bullish. So if there's somehow a big deal, and we actually might see a pop early Monday just with people trying to spin the idea that the executive order is good enough, it won't be. So any downside move probably delayed, and it's really going to take a smackdown, I think, in the market. Like, I'm talking 22K on the large caps probably to wake things up. If we look at the tech stocks, they got hit a little bit on Friday, and when the tech stocks get hit, we need to pay attention because this is the hot money sector. And on Friday, even though we had the Dow moving up, that was a rotation to the boring, sleepy, large cap tech stocks that are Dow stocks that no one really cares about. So a little bit of a warning signal here. Again, we're probably going to need the large caps to get smacked. We really don't care what the stocks we're playing. We're playing specific sector small cap stocks involved with anything COVID, anything on the country reopening, etc. So those are kind of insulated with the overall market. I'm just giving you an idea of, we'll probably end up seeing more action come. Remember, one of the best months we had was when the market, the large caps, imploded in March. So a little bit of selling here that's needed to get these guys to the table is not unexpected. So let's jump into some plays. VTGN. This is currently my largest position going into this week. I am very, very optimistic on it. We are awaiting FDA okay for their trial in New York for their depression drug. We're seeing a lot of news about COVID-19 causing a lot of mental issues. No surprise for people here in the States. We had news on Friday, Michelle Obama, a lot of big people, famous people are coming out and talking about this. We're looking here at the 1 hour chart. You can see resistance is about 92 cents. But if we look at this secondary chart, this is a daily chart going back 2 years, and you can see right here we break through that dollar range and we're looking at $1.50. Now that is typically the magnet on these small cap stocks when they do eventually break $1, but this chart just solidifies that as a very big potential. Nice volume on this one. We've got a nice little setup going into Monday. Really strong uptrend support. Like this play a lot, as you can tell. JAGX is very set up here. Again, we had that pop on Thursday and it did come back, but this is to be expected. If we look out, this is a daily chart squeezed up, but here is a 1 hour chart right now. We've got a very nice flag on this 1 hour chart. We had that run up to 84 cents and then it came all the way right back down, and for about the last day it's been consolidating in a nice tight range of 2 to 3 cents. That's exactly what we want to see on these plays. RSI held the 50 level. We've got stochastics in the basement. Now, Guys seem to think that stocks just go up, 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 and up. They're actually really healthy when they go up, consolidate, go up, consolidate. So that's what we're seeing in play right now on JAGX. This is a pulled out daily going back 2 years, and you can see the potential upside here, 1 to 120 from this. This is a 50% move. We had a couple of stocks go really, really big for us in the last few days. I'm going to pull those up. We had ZSAN go up 75%. We ended up getting news, not the news we were looking at, but we got that news, and it just went voomp over the last week. Bingo Bongo, same thing, up over 1. BIOC up over 1. So these are the next couple of plays, VTGN and JAGX, that I'm expecting a similar move that we saw on those other two. DSS, this is the week we have been waiting for. Merger vote is tomorrow. The stock started to move in anticipation of it on Friday. But look, we're still smack in the middle of this trading range going back to May. RSI uptrending. Check this out. What's CMF? Essentially money flow. We've gone from negative, i.e. shorts, to a lot of buying here on the last couple of days. And that corresponded, the last time we saw that, with this 100% move over the course of a week back in April when this trading range started. So this one, vote is tomorrow. Once we get these guys merger approved, all that COVID-19 news out there will start to pop up under DSS. And you're going to start to see guys go, who knew? ADMP has been consolidating for the last week. This stock has so many positive angles out there. It just continues to get held down in this range. The Trump executive order that is benefiting some stocks, these guys make essential drugs. These guys have a drug manufacturing company other than their vaccine setup. We've got a nice setup here. Again, it's this 130 area. They keep holding it back at 130. But while we're in this range, we go from 115 to 130, 115 to 130. So that is a range that I've talked about in the chat room. You can use to your advantage on day trades to make your swing trades free. New vaccine play for us on Friday, ARPO. I called it a baby NVAX, if that means anything, and it should. I am absolutely surprised this stock is still down here. They had monster news on Wednesday and still gave it up. Now, when you look at this chart, this is typical for this stock to go up, come back down, consolidate, then make another big new high, go down, consolidate, then make another new big high. So that's what we're looking at on this one right now. Here is the weekly chart, and this weekly chart looks super, super bullish here. I'm not going to go over all the research, but this stock should not be trading down here. In my opinion, it should be way higher, especially given the market caps we are seeing on some of these other biotechs. These guys have $35 million in cash with no debt. So their net market cap is $20 million as of Friday. When we've got stocks like Hotbox, CockP, iBio's trading at like a 600 million market cap, etc., etc. When you see those kind of valuations, you know, multi-billion valuations for NAVX, these end up making these smaller plays even more value based on the valuations that are out there. So 175-ish break, $2, everyone's going to love it, probably on a press release, and this one has serious upside. Like this new one a lot. INUV. I'm going to show you two charts here. Again, I keep saying whenever I pull this one up on the videos, this has been one of my top 2 plays going into this year, elections, ad revenue, etc., etc. But you can see we had that pop up over the 70 area, but it came back in the last couple of days. Now let's look at this chart. Exact same chart, just pulled out a little bit more, and you can see the super strong uptrend in place. This is a very bullish setup here. It requires patience though, which is why it's a swing. Day traders on a play like this get frustrated and hate the stock, and the stock never moves. And then when you pull this chart up, you go, what do you mean the stock never moves? It's gone from 18 cents to 72 cents. You know, that's 400% in 4 months. What else do you want? Set up nicely here. It looks like probably 73 to 75 is going to be where everyone goes, yeah. And then the scanners will tell everyone to buy at 1. We know how this drill works out there. Quick mention on CPSH. Now, I don't know what to say. These guys posted earnings, 2 cents earnings, profit. They make money. They're on the NASA rover, Perseverance, that's on its way to Mars right now. Now, we still haven't gotten a press release from these guys, probably being held up by JPL to give them the approval on it. We know a press release is coming. We know these guys are on the Mars rover. Everyone else probably knows they're on it, but they're like, I'm not buying this stock down here. Who cares if they're on the Mars rover? Press release comes out, oh my God, who knew? Let's buy 270. Chart looks good. Breakout, probably early chasers, 228, but if we get a press release, you know, this is going to be one of those. It's going to be a gap and kaboom. IZEA. Now, this has been a fantastic play for us over the last week. Goes up, goes down. TikTok is all over the news. Couple of mentions on TikTok. Do you actually believe they're going to ban TikTok? And B, they have until September 15th to sell. Now, we had some big news come out, I think, yesterday. Twitter has been in talks to buy TikTok. I actually think TikTok would be a fantastic pickup for Twitter. So we've got another company talking with TikTok. This chart has come back down. We'll actually pull up. This is the 1 hour chart. Now, I'm going to tell you what's going on here. Don't get freaked out. It's actually a good thing. We get a pop up, then it consolidates. Pop up, consolidates. What's actually happening here, IZEA has an ATM, an at-the-market offering in place, has since June. What does that mean? That means they've got one of those brokers out there who sells shares whenever they want every single day. Now, the good thing about that is we don't get one of those press releases of offerings that slam stocks down. The bad news is what usually happens is the stock's sitting around here and they stop selling shares and then the stock spikes. So then these guys sell shares and it goes down. Then they stop and it spikes. Then they sell shares and it goes down and they stop and it spikes. Now, with that in mind, we're right back down to that level that should see a pop. RSI looks good. MACD in the basement, stochastics in the basement. We know that's out there. We know the action. These guys have been pumping out multiple press releases in the last few days. That Friday news with Facebook and Instagram Reels, that was really big news. Had an initial pop, and then they started selling shares again. They probably pulled their foot off, so with that TikTok news we had yesterday with Twitter, we should see a bounce back on that. WIMI, absolutely love WIMI. Now, there was some worries out there and a little bit of selling, people going, well, you know, if companies are not allowed to deal with IZEA because of the Trump order, we should get out of this stock. Guys, this is a Chinese company. These guys win no matter what happens. If TikTok gets banned, these guys are still going to deal with WIMI or deal with TikTok. If TikTok gets bought by a U.S. company, they now have a partner with a U.S. company. Great setup here. If we look at the daily chart here, 1023 is that next spot. Again, this stock was getting chased at 29 a month ago, and TikTok is all over the news. Positive MACDs coming, stochastics in the basement. Great TikTok play. Now, another TikTok play, and I saw some clowns out there saying, this guys have nothing to do with TikTok. They've got 5 TikTok channels. Of course they're involved. They advertise on it. They've got channels. More exposure for TikTok is more exposure for the people who are on it. Come on, guys. This is not rocket science. Great chart set up here. 325 is the breakout. It's been holding under this $3 level. Volume's been pretty good, but not that 5 million volume day that'll light it free. 4 and 6 of the targets. A nice little press release on TikTok would be great. The other TikTok play we have as a swing is BHAT. Easy targets here. 200-day moving average is 157. Excellent uptrend in place. MACD's turning. Stochastics are turning. Patience, guys. Everything doesn't go like this in one day. Sometimes it requires a little patience. I see some guys go, well, I wasn't in that swing that ran big. Well, that's because this is the best swing market in 20 years, in my opinion, and you got to spread your eggs around. There's no knowing which stock's going to go on news, so we sit back on good charts that we know news is coming on, and we wait. MTNB, should have put this earlier in the video. This is another vaccine type play, similar to ABUS, i.e. mRNA, the big daddy who's doing the COVID drugs. These guys have similar technology. You can see we keep bouncing underneath the 200-day moving average. What stock does that remind you of that we just had a monster move in the last week? Oh yeah, ZSAN. Look what ZSAN did after bouncing underneath its 200-day moving average last week. And here we have the same thing on MTNB. Bigger float, but it doesn't matter. When the algos and the robots come in buying, they don't care. So you can see here on that breakthrough, the 200-day moving average, everyone's going to be eyeballing 120 and 150 on this chart. Quick mention on XELA. These guys have their fingers in so many different sectors. It just blows my mind that it's still down here. We probably need that 100 million volume day to light it up. Probably a press release. 70 cents, I believe, is the spot they will come in because everyone will start eyeballing a move to the 90 to $1 range. CBLI, late alert on Friday. Trump, buried in his executive order with the FDA on speeding up drugs, had a thing in there about nuclear radiation, blah, 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 blah. These are the only guys in this stock. You can see why it had trouble at that 285 area on Friday. As word spread this weekend with this chart, I just can't see this one not moving to 350 to 4 near term, especially on a MACD cross and stochastics up through 50. Last stock I'm going to mention is PHUN, PHUN. Actually, I should have had salami on here too, but here's PHUL, PHUN, PHUN. And now this is an election play. You've got the research. 185 is the break. And last but not least, like I said, salami. We got out of the earnings report last week. This is the 1 hour chart. Nice downtrend in place now. They didn't put any press release out on TeacherTube because it's a small part of their business. But we get a press release on that. Schools starting next week are starting to go back, especially here in California and other states. So we're going to start to see a lot more chatter about online education, especially with that news this weekend of those hundreds of students in Georgia are now being tested positive for COVID. That's going to push these schools to online. So that's it for the video, guys. Please like and share the video, and I will see you guys all in the chat room tomorrow. Bye.